Good morning, class. Today we're going to go over our Chapter 10 study guide. Okay, so grab the study guide that you did for our previous school day and get ready to check your answers as we work through. So, Yule and Sarah's art class started at 11:25 a.m. Okay, remember a.m. is in the morning. The class lasted 30 minutes. Yule left when the class was done. Sarah stayed an extra 5 minutes to talk with the teacher and then left. Write the time that each student left. Explain how you found each time. Okay, so we have two things we need to answer. Okay, we need to find out when Yule left and when Sarah left. Okay, so first let's do Yule. Now, you could work this out on your paper. I'm going to grab a piece of paper so I can do a bigger number line. All right, here we go. So I need a number line. Hopefully you drew a number line. All right, there's my number line. And I know that the art class started at 11:25 a.m. So that's my start time. Right here is 11:25 a.m. Okay? And I know that it lasted 30 minutes. Okay, so I could immediately do one big 30-minute jump and add 30 minutes onto 25. But let's do our jumps with friendly numbers, just in case you're not comfortable with just doing one big jump. So when I look at 25, I think of what little jump could I make to get to the next friendliest number? Well, the next friendly number from 25 would be 30, 11:30, and that's 5 minutes away. So I'm going to make a 5-minute jump. So here's my jump, and I want to label my jump 5 minutes so I know how far I've jumped. So I'm going to make a 5-minute jump to 11:30 a.m. Okay. So I jumped 5 minutes, but the class was 30 minutes long. Okay. So I still need to jump 25 more minutes, right? Well, let's make a 20-minute jump because I can add 20 minutes on easily. So I'm going to make a big 20-minute jump, and I'm going to label it 20 minutes. 30 plus 20 is 50. So now I'm at 11:50 a.m. Okay? And the reason I've written how big my jumps are up here is because I can go check. 5 plus 20 is 25. The class was 30 minutes long, so I need to go 5 more minutes. So now I'm going to jump 5 more minutes, and 50 plus 5 would be 55. So that lands me at 11:55 a.m. Okay? So this is the time the class ended. Right? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and write down because you left when the class ended. So Yule left at 11:55 a.m. You must put a.m. or p.m. because it is so important that you label. There's a big difference between 11:55 a.m. and 11:55 p.m. So you need to be very, very clear with your labels. Now, we're not done. Sarah stayed an extra 5 minutes and then left. So we need to add on an extra 5 minutes for Sarah. So let's add on 5 more minutes. So this is 5 more minutes. And this is when Sarah left. 55 plus 5 would be 60. But we don't write 1160. Every time you get to 60, because there's 60 minutes in an hour, you go to the next hour. So it's not 1160, okay? The next hour is 12. So after 11:59, we go to 12. Now wait a minute, is it 12 a.m. still? No, when we have lunch in the middle of the day, which is noon, it's p.m. post morning, because you have lunch after morning, right? So noon comes post morning, and this is when Sarah left. Okay, so now I can put Sarah left at, you could write noon, or you can just write 12 p.m. Okay? So when I'm going to explain how I got my answer, I'm going to explain that I used a number line. I found each time by using a number line. Okay. Super simple, doesn't have to be complex. Okay. All right. Number 2. Julio measured an object that he found. It was about 3/4 inches wide. Okay, before we even move forward, look at this ruler I made. I'm going to use the other half of my page here. All right, so you see this ruler I made? I've got it all nice and color-coded with blue, green, and pink. Okay? There's a reason for that. Okay? Now, let me grab a blue, a green, and a pink marker. What I did on my ruler is I marked the whole numbers in blue. So that's 0 inches, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, 5 inch. Turn the light off. 6 inch, 7 inch, 8 inch, 9 inch, 10, and 11 inches, and 12 inches. I don't want to zoom out more because I want you to be able to really see these lines. Okay, so all of my blue lines are whole numbers. Okay. Then I have all these little green lines. They're the smaller lines. And the green lines are all my quarter inches, or you would say fourths. Okay? So, this is 1/4. Okay? This would be 2/4, but you learned with your fraction unit that that's a half. Okay? And it's pink, so I'm going to skip it. And then this is 3/4. Those are the only 2/4 that you'll need with using a ruler. Okay, so all you do from here out is you just add the whole number in front of it. All right, so now this would be 1 1/4, 1 3/4. Now we're at 2 inches. 2 1/4, 2 3/4. 3 inches. 3 1/4, 3 3/4. Okay? Okay. Let me grab that blue. So this is, I gotta be careful not to move this. This is 0 inches. I'm going to do my whole numbers nice and big. This is 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches. Now the only one we have left are pink. So we already know that when we counted by fourths, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, that this pink line is where 2/4 is. And we also know that 2/4 is equivalent to a half. And if you look, this pink line is halfway between the 0 and the 1. So this is the half mark. So the fraction for this line is a half. So this is 1/2. This is 1.5. 2.5, 3.5, okay? And that's it, okay? So you either have a whole number or you have a fraction in a fourth or a fraction with a half, okay? So I have 0, 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, 1. 1 and 1/4, 1 and 1/2, 1 and 3/4, 2. 2 and 1/4, 2.5, 2 and 3/4, 3. 3 and 1/4, 3.5, 3 and 3/4, 4. And you can keep going. 4 and 1/4, 4.5, 4 and 3/4, 5. 5 and 1/4, 5.5, 5 and 3/4, 6. Okay. Another way to read your green marks, which are your fourths, is to say quarters. So you could say 1 1/4 or 1 3/4. 2 1/4 or 2 3/4. It means the same thing, okay? But those are fourths, all right? So if you want to pause the video and go label your ruler with colors like this, go for it. It'll help you remember what line is what, okay? All right, so I'm going to take my color-coded ruler, and I'm going to use it for number 2. Here we go. So Julio measured an object that he found. It was about 3/4 inches wide. For numbers 2a through 2d, choose yes or no to tell whether the object could be the one Julio measured. Now, what you're not going to do is you're not going to just look at these and guess. That's what we're not going to do. Okay, you should have a ruler there. And I want to look at my ruler and which one was 3/4. I know my fourths are in green, so I have 0, 1/4, 1/2, 3/4. So this is 3/4. It's right before 1. All right, so let's measure. And it says about 3/4. So it's not going to be perfect, but if it's close to 3/4, then we'll mark yes. Now, here's the thing. You want to make sure. See how I started to put the end of the ruler here? That's not correct. It starts on the 0. Boom. Okay, so this one is actually about 1 inch. Okay, it's closer to 1 inch than it is 3/4. So this is a no. Okay, let's go to the stamp. Remember, start on 0, not on the end of your ruler. Oh, look, this stamp is like right there close to 3/4. So the stamp is about 3/4 inch. So that's a yes. Let's look at the finger. The finger is exactly 1 inch, it looks like, so that's a no. Let's look at the eraser. Oops, my ruler's getting stuck. Okay. The eraser is actually 1 3/4. Oh, you can't see. Hang on. There you go. The eraser is actually 1 3/4. Do you see that? 1 1/4, 1.5, 1 3/4. So it's not 3/4 inch wide. It's actually 1 3/4. So that's a no. All right, flip your page over. We're going to go back to time. Dina started swimming at 3:38 p.m. She swam until 4:15 p.m. How long did Dina swim? All right, let's draw a number line. Now you have room here to draw your number line. I'm going to grab a piece of paper to draw my number line just to make it easier for you guys to see. Okay. This is my paper from earlier. Let me get my number line drawn. All right, so here's my number line. Start and finish. Okay. So she started swimming at 3:38 p.m. So I'm going to write my start time down. 3:38 p.m. Okay? And she swam until 4:15 p.m. So I'm going to write my end time down. All right. So we need to jump from here to here, and then we're going to add up all our jumps to find out how long she swam. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at these minutes, and I need to get to a friendly number. How am I going to do that? Well, the next friendly number to 38 would be 40. So that's only 2 minutes away because 8 plus 2 is 10, 38 plus 2 is 40. So I'm going to make a tiny jump that's 2 minutes long. And this is going to land me at 3:40. Again, it is very important that you number what you are doing on your number line so you don't get confused. You have 2 minutes, you land on 3:40. Okay, so now I'm at 3:40. My next friendly number I would think would be 4 o'clock, right? And I could make an easy jump to 4 o'clock. So how much time is there from 3:40 to 4 o'clock? 20 minutes. Good, because every time you start a new hour, you're at 60. 60 minus 40 is 20. So let's make a big 20-minute jump. Okay, and I'm going to label it 20 minutes. Okay. And then I need to put where I landed, which is 4 p.m. All right. Now I need to figure out how I'm going to get to 4:15. Well, 4 o'clock to 4:15, there's an easy difference here. You can easily see that's 15 minutes apart. So I can make a jump of 15 minutes. Now, which jumps you guys take, it doesn't matter. It's up to you. However you get from here to here is your choice. You can make a whole bunch of 5-minute jumps, 10-minute jumps. You can mix them all up. It doesn't matter, okay? As long as the math is correct, and it adds up to the correct amount of time in between the two of those. So 15 minutes. So now I'm at 4:15 because 4 o'clock plus 15 is 4:15. So what do I do? Well, it wants to know how long did Dina swim. That's the elapsed time, the time that elapsed between here and here. So I need to add up my jumps, okay? So I have 15 and 20, which is 35. So I've added up 15 and 20, that's 35 minutes. And now I need to add 2. When I add 2 to it, I get 37 minutes. So Dina swam for 37 minutes. Anytime you're unsure of these questions, draw it out, my friends. All right, here we go. Rita's class begins social studies at 10 minutes before 1 in the afternoon. At what time does Rita's class begin social studies? Okay, first of all, don't even look at this because you could get confused. Let's just figure this out. What is 10 minutes before 1 in the afternoon? So I know it's p.m., right? Because it's in the afternoon, post-morning. All right, 10 minutes before 1, okay? So if I had a number line, let's make a dinky little number line right here. And this was 1 o'clock. And I jumped backwards 10 minutes. Where would I land? Well, I know when you're at the beginning of an hour, that's 60 minutes. 60 minus 10 is 50. Okay, so I know it's something 50 p.m. And so what's 1 hour before 1 would be 12. So we're looking for 12:50 p.m. The reason I said to do this off to the side and not look at this yet is because you could do this in a hurry and actually mark the wrong one by rushing. We don't want to rush. We want to the correct answer. So 12:50 p.m. is when her social studies class begins. All right. Mark or select the objects with a mass greater than 1 kilogram. Mark all that apply. Okay, I want you to remember kilo means 1,000. So kilogram is 1,000 grams. And 1 gram equals a paperclip. Tiny. Okay, so now that you have that in your head, 1 kilogram would be 1,000 paper clips, right? So what about a bicycle? Could a bicycle be greater than a kilogram? Yes. Would a pen be greater than a kilogram? No. What about an eraser? Would an eraser be greater, mean way more than a kilogram? No. What about a math book? Math book be greater than 1 kilogram? Yes. Math books can be pretty heavy. Okay. Number 6. A chicken dish needs to bake in the oven for 35 minutes. The dish needs to cool for at least 8 minutes before serving. Scott puts the chicken dish in the oven at 5:14 p.m. Okay. Could I just go down here and start reading these and mark true or false? I could. Would that be best practice? No. Let's draw a number line first. Let's not even look at those down there. Okay? Don't even look at them. So let's draw a little number line and see what we got, what we're working with here. Okay. So, Scott puts the chicken dish in the oven at 5:14 p.m. So we start at 5:14 p.m., right? The dish needs to bake in the oven for 35 minutes. So let's find out when the dish is going to come out. I'm not going to just add 35 to 14. No, let's get to a friendly number. So the next friendly number I would say is probably 20. Okay, so we could go or we could go 1 minute to 15. But I think 20 is going to be easier because it'll keep it with easy numbers like 5s, 10s. So let's go to 20. So if I go to 20, that's 6 minutes to 20, right? So that's 5:20 p.m. Okay, now 6 minutes. We have 35 minutes. So now I'm down to 29 minutes that needs to cook. Okay. Well, we can add 20 minutes to this easily. So let's add 20 minutes. Boom. So this is 20 minutes. So 20 minutes plus 20 is 5:40 p.m. And so now I have 26 minutes that have elapsed. I need to get to 35. So that means I need to go 9 more minutes. 40 plus 9 would be 49. So 5:49 p.m. Now, this is the time that it's done baking. Okay? Let me grab a different color. Okay. Next, it needs to cool for 8 minutes before serving. At least 8. Okay? So it could cool for longer. So I'm at 5:49 and I need to add 8 on. What is 49 plus 8? 57. Good. So I'm actually going to add on to my number line plus 8. And this puts us at 5:57 p.m. And this is ready to serve. Okay. All right, so now that we have this information, these two very, very crucial numbers right here, let's look at our true and false. Scott can serve the dish at 5:51. It's ready to serve at 5:57. So it is not ready to be served at 5:51. It's still cooling, so that is false. Scott can serve the dish at 5:58. Well, it said it needs at least 8 minutes, so that means if it's over 8 minutes, that's fine. Does 5:58 come after 5:57? Yes, so he can serve it after 5:57. Scott should take the dish out of the oven at 5:51 a.m. Well, Scott needs to take it out of the oven actually at 5:49. But not only that, look at this. You have to pay attention because they try to trick you. A.m. Not in the morning. That means it cooked all night. No, p.m. So I know it's false no matter what the time says because it's not a.m. or it's not a.m. Scott should take the dish out of the oven at 5:49 p.m. Boom, we already know that. Look at that. True. So yes, it may take a little extra time to draw these number lines out first, but doing that guarantees that you're not going to get confused when answering the question about the information. Okay, let's go to the next page. Oy. Okay, next page. Anthony read a book to his little brother. He started reading at the time shown on the clock. He stopped reading at 5:45 p.m. Okay, now this instance, you could draw a number line if you wanted to. You can also do jumps on the clock. So I'm going to do both for you. So first thing I want you to do is read this clock. You know the short hand is the hour hand, the minute hand is the long one. I always tell my kids to remember the word hour is short, so it gets the short hand. The word minute is long, so it gets the long hand. Okay? So to read this time, I see that it is 5:05 because this is 5 minutes past the hour. So this is 5:05. And because I know he stopped reading at 5:45 p.m., I know this is p.m. Okay, and he stopped reading at 5:45 p.m. So let's see how long that was. Well, let's make a jump. Let's jump 30 minutes. So if I jump 30 minutes, that lands me at 5:35 p.m., correct? Now I need to get from 5:35 to 5:45, and I know that's 10 minutes, so 10-minute jump. So then I just add my jumps up. 30 minutes plus 10 minutes would be 40 minutes. Okay? Now you can also do it on the clock. I encourage jumping on the clock if it's within the same hour. Okay? If you're passing and going multiple hours, then it gets very confusing. Okay? So what you do is I'm going to mark my starting point, which is right here. See my little dot? And I'm going to mark my ending point, which is 5:45 p.m. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. You know that 45 is right here at the 9, okay? So I'm going to jump and make flower petals to show my 5-minute increments until I get to my ending dot, and then I'm going to add those up, okay? So all you got to do is count by 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And we got the same answer. See how it looks like a flower? So then when you explain, you could either write out how you did a number line, or you could write out how you jumped around the clock or counted by fives around the clock. Jumped by fives around the clock. Okay. Tran checked the time on his watch after he finished his daily run. Select the time that Tran finished running, mark all that apply. Okay. So we need to see what time this is. So this is your hour hand, because remember, the word hour is shorter than the word minute, so it gets the shorthand. And I'm going to draw this straight on out. Okay. So when I draw that out, I know that I'm still within the 8th hour. Okay. So I know that the hour is 8. Let's find the minutes. All right. So I've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. And then if you look at your minute hand, it's going to the notch right after 45, which is 46. Okay. So let's see. How many of these answer this question? 14 minutes before 9. If I added 14 minutes onto 46, would it equal 9 o'clock? Well, what's 46 plus 4? 50. And then there's 10 left, so 14. Yes, that would. 8:46. 8:46. Yes. Quarter to 9. Is it a quarter to 9? What time would a quarter to 9 be? Remember, these are your quarters. Okay. You have, this is 1/4 of the clock, so that's 1/4. So this would be a quarter past. Okay. This is 2 quarters here, which is half. And then this is 3 quarters on the 9, which leaves 1/4 left. So if it was 8:45, it would be a quarter till 9. But it's not. It's only 14 minutes before 9. A quarter on a clock equals 15 minutes. Okay? So, and not correct. This would have been 8:45. All right? And then they try to trick you with this last option, 9:46. Nope. If you looked at your hour hand, you knew it was still in between the 8 and the 9. So it is 8:46, not 9:46. Oh, look, Kara. Kara uses a balance scale to compare mass. Circle a symbol that makes the comparison true. The mass of the box, blank the mass of the erasers. Okay, so you know that the heavier object is going to drop down and the lighter object is going to go up. However, these objects are level. They're at the same height. And because they're level and they're at the same height, that means they have the same mass. So the mass of the blocks is equal to the mass of the erasers. Flip it over. All right, a large bottle of water holds about 2 liters. We also talked about how 2 liters is like those 2-liter bottle of sodas, right? For numbers 10A through 10E, choose yes or no to tell whether the container will hold all of the water that's in the 2-liter bottle, okay? Think about those big 2-liter bottles of soda. Kitchen sink. Would a kitchen sink hold 2 liters? Yes. Water glass. No. If you think about it, like let's say you think about the big 2-liter bottle of soda. Can you pour all of that into a regular cup, glass that you drink with? No. Ice cube tray. No. It would take a lot of ice cube trays. Large soup pot. Well, yeah, especially because it's a large soup pot. A lunchbox thermos. If it's a big thermos, it might hold 1 liter, but 2 liters, no. Nobody carries a thermos that big. Select the items that would be measured in grams. Mark all that apply. Okay. Remember, a gram is very small. It's equal to a paper clip. Watermelon. Would I measure a watermelon with paper clips? Absolutely not. It's way too heavy. Maybe kilograms. A lettuce leaf. Ah, that is very, very light. So yes, I would measure that in grams. 1 grape. Yes, that is very, very light. I would measure that in grams. An onion. Yes, unless it's some huge, ginormous, strange onion. Yes, you could measure that in grams. Samir made a list of what he did on Tuesday. Write the letter for each activity next to the time he did it. Okay? If you went and drew lines, that's not, you didn't follow the directions. Follow the directions, please. Okay. So let's look at our times. What's the earliest time? Let's put them in order that they happened first, because that will help us. So I'm going to look at my AMs. So 8:05, 11:48, and 6:25 a.m. 6:25 a.m., that's the earliest. So I'm going to put 1 by that. Then what time comes next? 8:05, 2. Then 11:48 a.m., 3. Now we can look at our PMs. 3:50 p.m. and 6:25 p.m. Well, 3:50 comes first, so that's 4th. And then 6:25 is last. So now that you know which one's the earliest time and the latest time, let's look at our list. Get out of bed. Well, that's the first thing that you do in the morning, right? So I'm going to go to number 1, the first time slot of the day. Walk to school. Well, you have to get to school early. So I'd look at the second time of the day. Then you're going to eat lunch. That'd be around noon. Go to the guitar lesson after school. That'd be your 4th thing that you do. And then you eat dinner at home at 6:25 p.m. If you put those in order first, easy peasy. All right, grab your last page. Oh, I had to get a good stretch out. These study guides are very long. Stretch it out if you need to. Okay. Amy has 30 grams of flour. She puts 4 grams of flour in each pot of chowder that she makes. She puts 5 grams of flour in each pot of potato soup that she makes. She makes 4 pots of chowder. Does Amy have enough flour left over to make 3 pots of potato soup? Okay, so first of all, let's figure out how much she used for her chowder. So she puts 4 grams of flour in each pot of chowder. So that's 4 grams times how many pots of chowder? 4. And we know that 4 times 4 is 16. So she used 16 grams in the chowder. Okay. And it wants to know if Amy has enough flour left over to make 3 pots of potato soup. Okay, well, how much does she have left over? She started with 30 grams. She's used 16, so let's subtract. She has 14 grams left. Okay, so now let's find out how many grams does she need for potato soup. So she put 5 grams of flour in each pot of potato soup. And we want to know if she has enough to make 3 pots. So 5 in each of the 3 pots. 5 times 3 would be 15 grams for potato soup. Okay. Now, does she have 15 grams? 30 minus 16 is 14. Or if you added these up, you'd see that they equal 31. She only has 30 grams of flour. So no, she would need 31 grams of flour. Okay. All right. Oh, use an inch ruler to measure. Let me find my ruler. Here we go. What is the length of the leaf to the nearest fourth inch? Nearest fourth inch. So that's 1/4, 3/4. It can even be a half. Here we go. Remember, you started at the 0, not the end of the ruler. So, oh, look, it's on a green line, which is a fourth. So this is 1 inch, which means this is 1 1/4 inches. So I'm going to write that as 1, and your 1 is a whole number. Remember, it should be large. And 1/4, and your label is inches. Explain what happens if you line up the left side of the object with the 1 on the ruler. Okay? Your answer will be wrong, because look, if I started here, I'm now saying it's 2 1/4, which is an inch longer than it is. So your answer would be wrong because it would be an inch longer. Okay. Just for fun, what would happen to our measurement if we started at the beginning of the ruler and not the 0? Look at that. Now it says it's just 1 inch. So it is incorrect. Okay. Mrs. Park takes the 9:38 a.m. train to the city. The trip takes 3 hours and 20 minutes. What time does Mrs. Park arrive in the city? Time for a number line. All right, I'm going to do it on here for you. So you just draw your line. She leaves at 9:38 a.m. Okay, we need to jump 3 hours and 20 minutes. So let's do our 20-minute jump first. So 20 minutes. 38 plus 20 would be 58. So this is 20 minutes. And this is 9:58 a.m. Okay. And then what's 9 plus 3? We need to add 3 hours on. Let's just do one big 3-hour jump. 9 plus 3 is 12. So we're at 12:58. But wait, is that a.m.? We started at 9:58 a.m. But once we pass or reach 12, we're at noon. So that is post-morning. It's after the morning. It's p.m. Okay, boom. There's your answer. 12:58 p.m. Okay, Hector buys 2 bags of gravel for his driveway. He buys a total of 35 kilograms of gravel. Select the bags he buys. Okay, so this is problem solving where you have to add up the 2, find the 2 that would add up to 35. Okay, so 15, I would need a 10 to make that 35. Like I would need 20 to make that 35, and I don't have a 20. so it's not that. 17. Okay, well, 35 minus 17. Okay, what's 15? It's 8, and 2 minus 1 is 1. I would need 18. Boom, I have it right here. So that means 17 plus 18 equals 35. Flip it over. Okay, Ashley measures the shells she collects. She records the measurements in a chart. Here's her chart. Number of shells, length in inches. Ashley found a razor clam shell this long. Use an inch ruler to measure. Record the measurement in the chart. Okay. So she found a razor clam shell. So that's 1. And it's this long. So I'm going to line it up at 0. Oh, look, it goes right onto a pink line. And it's after 3. So it's 3.5 inches. So I'm going to write that as 3.5. So I'm going to write it here because they asked me to, and I'm also going to write it here. Complete the line plot to show the data in the chart. How many shells are longer than 2 inches? Tell how you know. Ooh, love line plots. They're so easy peasy. So here's the different lengths of shells measured to the nearest ½ inch. All right, so I've got one shell that's 1 inch long. So I'm going to find 1 inch on here, and I'm going to make 1x because there's only one shell. 2 shells are 2.5 inches long. So I'm going to go to 2.5 inches, and I'm going to put 2 x's for the 2 shells. 3 shells are 1.5. So I'm going to find 1.5 inches, and I need to make 3 x's for the 3 shells. 1 shell is 2 inches. Here's 2. So I'm going to make 1x to represent 2 inches. And 1 shell is 3.5. So that's right here. Okay. Now, I am not done because it says how many shells are longer than 2 inches. Tell how you know. So 2 inches or more would be longer. So I'm going to count all the x's from 2 or more. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 shells. Okay. And how do you know? I counted the x's from 2 and above. All right, one more question. Lucy fills a bathroom sink with water. Is the amount of water more than 1 liter, about 1 liter, or less than 1 liter? Explain how you know. Okay, less than a liter is like an individual can of soda. Would a bathroom sink fill that? What do you think? Probably not. No. 1 liter. Well, 1 liter is about the amount in a medium-sized bottle of water. That might fill a drinking glass, but it's not going to fill a sink. So that means the bathroom sink must need more than 1 liter. Okay. And you would explain it by explaining that, I'm just going to put it down here for you so you have it. 1 liter equals small water bottle. Whoops. And then less than that would obviously be not enough. Okay. All right. Well, good luck on your test tomorrow. I think you're all going to do great. Take your time. Draw out your number lines for elapsed time. Use your ruler to measure. Okay, there's no need to guess or rush through it. See you later.